We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Dak going to start out going to the air.
And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
An early message that this secondary is going to be tested because even though it fell incomplete, it almost felt like a warning shot to get things going.
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that'll bring up fourth down. On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Here's Jackson to return. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Eagles will have it taking over first and 10.
Come on, come on. Hey.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he powers his way up past the 30.
Saw the linebacker Damone Clark coming through with a stop.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chatter right now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
First carry for Kenneth Gainwell.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
On first and 10, it's Sanders.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, Kai just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
Hurts throw complete there to Moore.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 34 yards.
We saw these guys have some big plays in their wild card win last week, and they're certainly going to need to continue to put up plays like we just saw there if they hope to continue to move on in these playoffs.
Hurts. Flushed out right. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
On 2nd down, Gainwell looking for space.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Hurts sets up to throw it.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
The kick by Elliott is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted.
It's Nakobe Dean with a pick, and the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll go again with Sanders. He'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
Here's Hurts to throw.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Damone Clark. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy. and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They run straight ahead here with Pollard, as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Open man, Arcega right side. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard taking it in from 11 yards out, and the Cowboys have moved out in front. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic, and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front. Offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. In the wild card win last week, he had just 2 catches, and now he's got his first one here. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Throwing is Hurts. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait in, enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside and have to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Towards the end zone for Brown. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Sanders, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Another run with Sanders. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
A big one coming in this divisional round playoff, 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Sanders. And this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. In motion, the tight end. Going for it with Sanders. And not only will he not get in, he's going to lose yardage. They stuff him back at the 4. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Cowboy defense comes up with a goal line stand. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Puts it on the carpet, it's out. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the 1st half. On 2nd and 7, Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
And this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will do it for this 1st half. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. 2nd half action back underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them. And not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. He'll look to throw.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense...
And he will go down. A Cowboy sack.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Micah Parsons.
2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up fourth down. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he's trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Pollard again. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Out left and hauled in by Arcega-Whiteside. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. Prescott on 1st down.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. 2nd and 10 here as we sit in the 3rd quarter of this divisional round matchup.
Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Prescott.
Open man Lamb. It's complete.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 42. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now a give here to Pollard. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback.
And this is going to be intercepted. And the Eagles will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the third quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
First down carry by Sanders, well defensed as they'll hold him to just a couple. Second down coming up.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operated.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on stand-up.
Well, the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. $12 yards on the return that time. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. What a play there by Fletcher Cox to get in and knock him down behind the line. On 2nd and 12, Prescott. And that one complete downfield to Johnson. Now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review of that last play. So that challenge not successful there, and that's going to cost him the first of his timeouts. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Catch is made. It's Schultz on the out route. So nothing doing there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Schultz. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
They'll throw again. Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. An 11-yard touchdown.
Rich Yes RPO, man. They're man defense, and they don't even respond to the man fucking defense. And that one.
And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown conversion to tie. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And that one will bounce out to the back of the end zone, so we'll start here at the 25.
Love you.
Eagles offense set to begin the next drive. And this could be the defining moment of their season. All hyperbole aside, you're trailing in the fourth quarter, the divisional round, and they need to come up with something as they get this drive started. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get it, sometimes you panic as well, think I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, time to a different play and not deferring.
They'll drop the throw. And this is caught. He hits more. And he is going to have an Eagles first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
All right.
They'll look to throw.
Yeah.
Setting up the screen with Gainwell. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is that conventional play has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and he still get caught.
They run behind center with Gainwell. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Now back to throw. And this is caught by Watkins. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. Hurts. And this is that's Watkins. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. Shifts past him. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 41 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
Oh, I hit the wrong button.
Nice start out, it's intercepted. I'll tell you what, Eagles do preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. And he's got it down to the 28. And a timeout taken. Just 6 seconds away from the 2-minute warning. This defense wanted to stop the clock prior to that, and they do. On 2nd and 7, Prescott on the other end. And down inside the 15. Prescott looking out for the Cowboy first. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throwing the out incomplete. It's Schultz. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down. Run for Pollard. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that was officially a loss of 1. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision this running this in the air?
I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the first down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
So
Damn,
here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. This is up and good from Pinheiro. And that will extend the lead here to 17-6. So now seems to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You just need a touchdown. You need a chance to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember last drive, they were moving the football.
Look at this shit, man. These things is on a lot, bro.
We see it all the time. The defense goes to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here. Things start to get more interesting here in the second half. And on third down, the Cowboys bring it against the defensive back. Here's Hurts to throw. Pass complete, got it. And out across midfield down to the 45. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. And a timeout comes in. The whistle's blown with 3 seconds remaining. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will go incomplete. As time has run out on this football game.